In the garden of the sun.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. What? Thank you. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Back. I truly do. I want to thank Kim Wins for that wonderful introduction, to the outstanding members of the North Carolina congressional delegation who supported me through thick and thin, the Dean, Representative David Price and his wife Lisa, Congressman Mel Watt, Congressman G.K. Butterfield. Thank you so much. Oblinger, Chancellor of North Carolina State University. To the state, county, and local elected officials in attendance, to the North Carolina Democratic Party, and most of all, to my North Carolina volunteers. So hard. This is your victory. You know, there are those who were saying that North Carolina would be a game changer in this election. But today, what North Carolina decided is only changing is the one in Washington, D.C. I want to start by congratulating Senator Clinton on what appears to be her victory in the great state of Indiana. I want to thank all the people, wonderful people of Indiana, who worked so hard on our behalf. The people in Indiana could not be finer. They worked tirelessly, and I will always be grateful to them. I want to thank, of course, the people of North Carolina. Giving us a victory in a big state. In a swing state. In a state where we will compete to win if I am the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. You know, when this campaign began, Washington didn't give us too much of a chance. But because you came out in the bitter cold and enlisted your friends and neighbors in this cause, because you stood up to the cynics and the doubters when we were up and when we were down, because you took the moment and our time to change America. Tonight, we stand less than 200 delegates from securing the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. We will end it not by duplicating the same tactics on the other side, because that will lead us down the same path of polarization and of life. We will end it by telling the truth. We will end it by telling the truth forcefully, repeatedly, confidently, and by trusting that the American people will embrace the need for change, even if it's coming from an imperfect messenger. Because that's how we've always changed this country. From the bottom up. When you, the American people, decide that the stakes are too high and the challenges are too great, the other side can label and name call all they want, but I trust the American people to recognize that it is not surrender to end. We can rebuild our military and go after Al-Qaeda's leaders. I trust the American people to understand that it is not weakness but wisdom to talk not just to our friends but to our enemies, like Roosevelt did and Kennedy did and Truman. I trust the American people to realize that while we don't need big government, we do need a government that stands up for families who are being tricked out of their homes by Wall Street predators. A government who stands up for the middle class by giving them a tax break. A government that no American will ever lose their life savings just because their child gets sick. Security and opportunity and prosperity aren't liberal values. They are not conservative values. They are American values. And that's what I'm for in this election. Most of all, I trust the American people's desire to no longer be defined by differences. Because no matter where I've been in this country, whether it was in the cornfields of Iowa or the textile mills of the Carolinas, the streets of San Antonio or the foothills of Georgia, I found that while we may have different stories, we hold common hopes. We may not look the same or come from the same place, but we want to move in the same direction towards a better future for our children and our grandchildren. In this race, I love this country too much to see it divided and this critical moment in history. I believe in our ability to creation because it's the only reason I'm standing here today. I know the promise of America because I've lived it. Michelle has lived it. You have lived it. It is the light of opportunity that led my father across an ocean. It's the founding ideals that the flag draped over my father's coffin stand for. Liberty and the pursuit of happiness. It's the simple truth I learned all those years ago when I worked in the shadow of all those shuttered steel mills on the south side of Chicago. That in this country, justice can be won against the greatest odds. Hope can find its way back from the darkest of corners. And when we are told that we cannot bring about the change that we seek, we answer with one voice. Yes, we can. So North Carolina and America, don't ever forget that this election is not about me or any candidate. Don't ever forget that this campaign is about you. It's about your dreams. It's about your struggles. It's about your aspirations. It's about securing your portion of the American dream. Don't ever forget that we have a choice in this country. We can choose not to be divided. That we can choose not to be afraid. That we can still choose this moment to fight together. The problems we talked about all those other years and all those other elections. This time we can face down those who say our road is too long, that our climb is too steep, that we can no longer achieve the change that we seek. This is our time to call. Many generations of Americans have answered before by insisting that by hard work, the American dream will endure. Thank you. Thank you, North Carolina. May God bless you and the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you.